Hey Mike, when you look at doing a takeoff for a plumbing house, like where do you kind of start and what's the process with like pricing?
So with pricing that we break down how many fixture points and units there are in the house itself.
Yeah,
So vanities, showers, toilets,
yeah,
kitchens, etc. And we obviously look at plans and we do
yeah. How do you determine what's the point? Like what's determined as a fixture point?
fixture point is like anything that has water and waste running to it.
Maybe.
So yeah, your baths, your
Yeah.
showers,
Hot water cylinder,
hot water cylinder,
exterior
infinity.
hose taps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exterior post taps, that
sweet.
is also.
Yeah, nice man. When you price like just a bathroom, like say a renovation comes through for a builder and it's just a bathroom, how many units are in a bathroom and what kind of like do you include all the materials in that as well?
So when we get a renovation job come up for the desk, what we do is we look at it and we figure out obviously how many fixtures there are, um, whether it's high end or a low end project, because that can sometimes play into how much time it takes.
Yeah.
I break down, go through all the plans, figure out where the waste points need to go, and we actually like break it all down through materials and time.
Yeah.
And
So when you break down these jobs, do you do all your labour components first and then your materials as well?
yeah, so throughout the job. So for a whole job, what I'll do is I'll break down into pre-slab and drainage. I'll drop it down to pipe out and then fit off.
Yeah.
And each fixture has a certain amount of hours that it's required.
Yeah.
And then you break down the materials.
Nice. So when you say certain amount of hours allowed, is that sort of in your experience how long roughly it takes you? And then because obviously we're pricing for plumbers, so we can assume across the board a plumbing company when they go fixed price they'll allow 3-4 hours per unit. Is that right?
Yeah. So
unit, yeah.
Depending on the unit, the fixture.
Yeah.
There'll be a certain amount of hours allowed per fixture.
Yeah.
And therefore for the pipe out and then also for the stack work.
Yeah. What's the average hourly rate charge out for plumbers like at a contract rate?
$110 is the normal charge out rate.
Yeah. Do you know if it varies across the regions at all?
Yeah, so the prices vary a bit. I'd hit $93 in one or two.
Yeah.
And it just chops and changes throughout the regions. But when we get a job come across our desk, we'll ask you serious questions, as in like, what are your charge out rates? How far is the job is from the workshop?
Yeah.
So therefore we can allow for the vehicle charge.
Yes.
And the correct hourly rate.
Yeah. What do you know what your rough cost is for a vehicle charge out rate?
So rough cost up in Auckland is $45.
$45. Do you charge per Ks as well, or just is that kind of included in the rate?
We just include it in the rate.
Yeah. So
$45 is the standard vehicle charge.
Yeah.
But if it is a job very far away from home, we'll charge it for it.
So what's the cost of a standard hot water cylinder?
So
180 Renite.
For 180 Renite, we'll be looking at about $1,300.
And how many labour hours do you put to install one of those?
About 6 hours.
So 6 hours at $110 an hour?
Yes.
Here's a question. What determines when you were saying about renovations, high end and mid range, how does the cost vary between high end and low end townhouses?
The difference in low end and high end work is you can have like in-wall mixers and in-wall systems. So that's the main difference in the you got to allow more time for the installation. Right. And there's a bit more fiddly stuff to do when you allow time. Okay. You allow the high-end jobs.
Yeah. When you do foundations or slab stuff, you know you have 2 plumbers on site for a day. Do you charge out 2 guys at 110, or do you do one at 110 and an apprentice say at $80 or $75?
Two guys at $110 for that day.
So plumbers are creaming. What's the average markup on materials you put for plumbers?
Average markup is 30%
on materials. Yeah, sweet. And do you put a contingency on the overall job cost?
Yes, there's a 15% contingency over the whole job.
Sweet. Yeah, that's good. So, on average, how many different types of plumbing jobs do you price between renovations and townhouses?
So last year we would have priced probably I would have priced probably between 35 and 40 townhouses and 15 renovations.
Yeah, nice. And were they just for the renovations were plumbing for you were pricing just for busy plumbers that couldn't price, didn't have time to price?
Yeah, the majority of guys that we're doing work for are guys who can't actually find the time to price their own jobs.
Yeah.
And it just takes time off their hands, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to save 4 to 6 hours of their time, which we can do.
And how long have you been plumbing for?
12 years.
Yeah, nice. And what made you want to get into pricing?
My brother.
Nice.